Thanks for joining us today. We're recording this on October 11th, 2021. So, we started really focusing on a systematic listing program in 2015. Since then, we've closed north of 700 seller sides using this program. We've learned a lot over the years, and we've refined this system to a point where we don't really make any changes to it anymore. It's proven. Part one will cover some high level ideas and we'll then dig into our actual listing process. We've decided to call this process KISS listings. Keep it simply systematic. I can't reiterate enough how important it is to follow a proven system over and over. Keep it simple. So, first, let's talk about the benefits of adding more listings to your business. Everyone in real estate wants a more regular schedule, and more listing volume absolutely helps you with that. It's also easier to predict your income with listings. You can reliably predict when a listing will become revenue based on the listing date. It's much easier to increase your overall sales volume with listings because it's easier to take on more listings since they take less of your time. However, there's a really steep learning curve with listings. You'll see more contracts fall through, and it's completely outside of your control. Inspections are tougher to negotiate. In general, mistakes have higher consequences. There are tons and tons of gotchas, and you're expected to anticipate all of them. When you miss a gotcha, you're going to feel it. So everyone here has a lot of experience with buyers. But sellers are very different than buyers. Buyers don't think about your commission a lot, but sellers do. This makes many sellers much more critical of their agent. With the exception of the pandemic market, buyers usually have a lot of fun, and you usually feel like friends. They just want you to be available to show them houses when they want to look at houses. Sellers are different. They prioritize industry and market knowledge above everything else. Now, the good news is that they also want and will respect your advice. The bottom line is that sellers want to be guided and they want to be challenged. When working with sellers, it's crucial to set expectations. Things can look great, but they don't always end that well. It's important to make sure that sellers understand that the market ultimately determines the price and that no deal is done until it's closed. It's your job to guide them through the challenges that are outside of their control to a successful closing. So what can we control? We can control our list price, and we can reduce when we need to. We can control which offer we ultimately select. We can control how we respond to repairs requests. And we can control how we react to unforeseen obstacles. But your job isn't to tell your client what they should do in any given situation. Your job is to present their options and to explain to them what is likely to happen with any decision. Sometimes you'll have a client who asks, "What would you do?" And then you get to be more direct with your recommendations. Here are just a few examples of decisions that you'll have to help guide your clients through. You have two offers. One is cash and one is finance. Cash offer's lower. Ultimately, which offer is better? Sometimes somebody brings you a super high offer, but they will not waive the appraisal. What do you do in that instance? You have a great contract, great price, great terms, and then during option, the buyer comes back to you with a really outrageous repairs request. What do? Low appraisals are never fun, and contract extensions. You're going to have a lot more contract extensions as a listing agent than you guys produce as buyer's agents. Listing agents, they have to help their clients understand their options and the implications of each option. I recommend this book constantly for a reason. When you sell a complex service like real estate sales, you have to be able to challenge your clients. You have to be able to explain to them why a certain decision is in their best interest and why another decision is not in their best interest. Challenger Sale is going to help you guys learn how to do that if you don't already have that skill. So when I started taking listings, I absolutely hated them. I noticed that I would either sell a listing within 2 weeks or I would lose the listing. This is because I didn't have a system that I could rely on. When I learned the hard way that systems are critical, listings became a little bit better for me. As we improved our system, my client's experience became a lot better. My own experience was better. So this is the simple system that we've used in 700 plus successful seller transactions. Property preparation, effective marketing, list and look at offers systematically, and price the property right. This is literally it. If you do these 4 things, you will have a successful listing and it will sell. Most importantly, your client will have a great experience. Let's talk about what each of these mean. Property preparation comes down to 2 things. The first is high return on investment improvements. What can we spend money on that will help us sell for a higher price, but more importantly, what will have a high return on investment? And staging. Staging falls into 2 categories. Most of your listings will be occupied. This means that you'll pay $200 to $300 for a consultation that will take your clients 2 to 3 hours. If the property is vacant, then it's generally $1,500 to $2,500 to stage a vacant property. These will be your upfront marketing costs. Don't ask your clients to pay for it. This always begs the question, if you think the listing won't sell, then don't take it under any circumstance. Effective marketing. Our marketing program is 100% comprehensive. There is literally nothing more that can be done to effectively market a property. It's critical that you get your seller to agree to this during the listing appointment. Sure, you could stand in front of the house in a chicken suit, spinning a sign, but that's not effective. Our marketing program, our system, it's 100% effective. It's absolutely 100% critical that you work offers systematically. I cringe when I browse Facebook and I see how many agents get a new listing and then immediately begin working it improperly. When you list a property, you want to make sure that you get the most motivated buyers for the home in the shortest reasonable window. This causes buyers to compete, which means you get better offers at higher prices. This is why we always list on a Wednesday or a Thursday. How we choose to respond to offers, meaning are we definitely waiting through the weekend or are we not waiting through the weekend, is case by case. It depends on the market. However, you have to respond to any offer within 24 hours or the buyer who's excited about their offer will start to sour. I don't know how many times I've had the opportunity to take an amazing listing and the seller says, well, I need to get whatever amount it is. It's $100,000 more than it's worth. Then I'll sell it. That's not a listing opportunity. That's a seller with a make me move price, and it's a waste of your time. Unless you also believe that buying lotto tickets is an investment, you never take that listing. However, you never tell a seller this is the only price that you should list this property at. All sellers have different priorities and they all have a different risk tolerance. Your job is to educate the seller on the market, educate them on seasonality, and explain what you think will happen if they choose a price in a given range. You provide them with the range, you give them guidance, and then you let them select the price. The pros and cons of pricing high or low are obvious to us, but you must go over them with your sellers. Put those pros and cons on the table. Make sure that everybody understands that there's a downside to pricing high. You might have to reduce price. It might not sell quickly. There could be a downside to pricing low. You could get just your list price very quickly. You take that price. Maybe you left money on the table. Make sure everybody agrees. They're making the decision. There are risks. There are rewards. We all agree. The good news for everybody here is that listings never have any other problems you have to overcome. That's another one of my bad jokes. I was very, very, very impressed at how quickly and how effectively we navigated COVID. I cannot think of a more difficult problem to solve than showing listings during a global pandemic, but we did it. Always remember this. Your sellers place high expectations on you to solve their problems, but you have help. Reach out for that help. Here are a few resources. On our website, we put all of our strategies and our systems there in a consumer-friendly format. Read through it and make sure that you understand everything well. Part of this is the listing presentation. It's on the website. Part 2 and Part 3 of this series are going to be really helpful. Part 2 will go over pricing, which is arguably the most important and difficult part of listing successfully. And then Part 3 will teach everyone our listing presentation. And finally, I'll plug the Challenger Sale again. It's a fantastic book. It's a fantastic concept. I highly encourage everybody to be familiar with it. Thanks to everybody who's attending the class, and thanks to anybody who's watching this online on your own time. If you are watching this on your own time and you have any questions, please feel free to shoot me an email. Thank you.